Everybody, back to Boosted Motion, guys, and today we're going to be doing a lot of things to the E63s today. So we're going to be putting spacers on, hover rings on, front lip. So much things are going on in the car today. So just check these videos as I drop them in chronological order, and check on my channel for when I do install. But in this video, we're going to be installing the wheel spacers. So guys, hit that intro.
Welcome everybody back to Boosted Motion, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Thank you.
Welcome everybody back to the channel. First thing, shout out to my whole Boosted Motion family. Thank you guys for your support. And if you're new to the Boosted Motion channel, I'm Boosted Motion. And guess what, guys? We're going to be installing wheel spacers on the front of my E63s. The reason being is, well, look how flush that fitment is in the rear. Now, the front one isn't flush at all. Period. All the way in. So I got some 20mm spacers, and we're going to install them on the car. Now, I do want to give you guys a quick disclaimer. These are 5x114 wheels, and for me to fit these on the car, I had to use wobble bolts, right? So I use wobble bolts in the rear, which pretty much offsets the lug nut, and you can fit 5x14 on 5x112. Now I did the same thing for the front, but the wheel just isn't wide enough for sticking out all the way out. So there's only a couple of solutions for this one. Number one, I drill out the wheels a little bit wider, so that'd be 5x112, and then add a 5x112 spacer with extended lug nuts. That's one, but I don't want to drill the wheels out. I just don't want to do that. I don't want to make it irreversible. So the second option is to get a spacer such as this one. This is called a press-in hub-centric spacer. And what you do with this is actually 5x112 to 5x114. So this one's actually a little bit wider than these holes. And I'll bolt this up directly. You'll use these lug bolts, which bolt right up into here, and then I'll bolt the wheel to this face. Now our hub-centric spacers safe to use on cars, guys. I've been using spacers on my cars ever since I was 17 years old, the inception of spacers. What I would say is this: make sure, number one, you get hub-centric spacers that are designed for your car. Hub-centric means that they have a hub ring that's supposed to fit where the wheel is supposed to fit, so that the wheel doesn't move up and down, because it'll give you so much vibrations on at 40, 50, 60 miles an hour because the wheel isn't centered on the hub. Okay, pretty much. It's a raised lip. I'll show you guys quickly. Second thing is torque. Yes, what I mean by torque, these are the hubs. These are the hub rings, or the hub center, where the wheel will go and sit on. Now, the other thing is, the second thing is torque. People think they're just supposed to put the pressed-in hub spacers on, and you guys forget to torque it. Now, all cars have a certain amount of foot-pounds of torque, so that's the clamping force to the wheel or the hub spacer to the car, and then the wheel to the hub spacer. What you guys forget to do is you don't torque it, number one. Number two, you're supposed to recheck the torque 50 to 100 miles. So that means take the wheel back off again and just double check the torque, right? Make sure it's installed on a clean hub and everything like that. So nonetheless, we're going to jump into the video. I'm going to quickly jack the car up, and we're going to try to do the two fronts at one time. Now, I know that these wheels are on there pretty tight, so hopefully I don't run into any issues. But if I do, I'll let you know. So let's move forward. Alright, so once you have the car jacked up and the wheel off and everything, I always say express some safety here. I'm supposed to put a jack stand under there to make sure it's good, but that's me not paying attention. My jack stand is literally in the back of the truck. I'm being lazy. This is the hub spacer. One thing you got to do is make sure does it fit the wheel that you're going on. Boom, it fits the wheel. Second thing, I had to order a different set of hub rings. The hub rings that I have right there aren't the right size, basically. So I ordered a different size, and let's see if they fit here. Boom, hub rings fit perfectly fine. The reason why I have the hub rings is because these are hub centric to Mercedes, but the wheel is like 71 millimeters and these are like 66.6. So I'm gonna put the hub rings on like that and then put the wheel on there. So let me quickly just take that hub ring off the car and start putting on the lug bolts. Now that you have the bolts in, you see what you're supposed to do now? Star pattern. Now, at this point, what I want you guys to also do is you're going to have to torque. You're going to have to get a torque stick and torque these 5 too, because you want to make sure you have the proper amount of clamping force onto the wheel, right? So that's what I'm pretty much going to do next. All right, so a little trick that I do is I'll get a flathead or any kind of something that could go in there, and you stick Phillips flathead into there, and it goes into these little veins. Now, when you go to torque the wheel, right? When you go to torque the wheel, I'm gonna do about 100 foot-pounds. That's usually what is. I think this car is at 87 foot-pounds. So just stick with whatever Mercedes, but I'll still do about 100 foot-pounds. And when you do go to torque it, the road is gonna move, but because that is holding it in place, you can actually properly torque it. So let me just quickly knock that out, and then we'll go into the wheel. All right, guys. So now I put all the lug nuts on. These are open head lug nuts, so I'm gonna probably change these in the future because I don't like these. I know I have some black ones in the house somewhere, but I don't know if the thread pattern is the same, the thread pattern, so I'm just gonna use these for now. It's only 2 fronts. And I also want to say as a disclaimer to you guys also that this is my situation is very unique because I'm coming from a 5x112 to a 5x14 wheel, and also the offset was too high, so that's why I need to push the wheel out. But in most cases, you guys are just going to use either one spacers with extended lug bolts, or number 2, you'll have Preston lug bolts, lug nuts or bolts, and then you would use it like this. But most of the times, Mercedes guys, you guys use the spacers, the slip-on spacers with extended lugs. But anyways, let me quickly finish torquing everything, and we're gonna bring it down and see how much more clear we are. So I torqued all the wheels. Now we're gonna bring it down. Let's bring it down, everything is safe. All right, boom. All right, now that's 20mm spacer. Now it still isn't flush. I could have probably done a 25. I could have probably done a 25mm spacer, just looking at it. But all in all, it's a lot better than it was before. I'm a lot okay with it. Let me take a look. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I still wanted it to be a little bit more. Also, I got to see how it is when the wheel turns. But I still wanted it more flush. This is probably another 5mm, and it will probably come out. Because I don't want it too much, because if I have it too much, the wheel's going to bounce up and hit here. So I don't even know what's the travel going to be when I hit a front bump. All right. Remember, I did lower the car on suspension module. You can also check the links below. I'll start having a lot of the stuff I use on this car in the links below. So all in all, I am definitely okay with it. I would rather be under than to be over. So this works. Also, remember this video, and well, not in this video, in another video, I'm also using a specific wheel cleaner on all the wheels to see how clean they are and how good it is. It's a spray-on cleaner, and also you go a little bit of agitation. So definitely be on the lookout for that video too. It's going to be in here. So let me quickly do the other side. Also, I'm going to be installing a front lip on this car too. So I'm doing a lot in one day. So this car will get a front lip also. So guys, check it out. Let me just quickly finish out this spacer install. All right, everybody. So officially, we have the front spacers on. Now, it isn't as flush. And remember, the car is kind of on a dip right now, so the fitment's going to look a little bit off. But it's not as sunken as it was before. It could probably still fit another 10mm, but it's okay. I'll just be okay with the 20s in front. I'll be perfectly fine with it. It's okay with it. Like, it's fine. Also, this is the other side too. I'll put a link below to this brand of spacers. And also, if you guys do want to do a 5x112 to a 5x114 spacer, you got to make sure that you get wheels with an offset that are super low. The rears are 45s, so you really can't put bolt-on spacers in the rear. It would have to be like a 60 on a 10.5 or something in the back to still put spacers, or like a 9.5 with like a 50 offset. But I have 11s in the rear with a 45, so you can see it's a little bit of a poke. These were 9.5s, plus 25, and I still added a 20 on top of it, and you see where it sits. So I doubt most of you guys are going to end up doing that and everything like that. But nonetheless, I actually like how it looks a lot more better now, and it fits a lot better. I have to turn the car on and let the car settle itself back out because the front looks a little lower, but it really isn't. It's because the way the car is on a dip and everything like that. So aside that, guys, you have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Remember, also, I'm also dropping the videos where I'm going to be installing the front lip on this car, and I also use a specific wheel cleaner on these wheels, which also I ain't finished wiping, but I'm gonna finish that video off really soon. But that wheel cleaner is really good, and it turned out really well. Well, I don't know where it is right now, but outside that, guys, you have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Check out that wheel cleaner video and check out that lip install video. All right, outside of that, guys, I appreciate it. You. Hit me up at Boost Motion IG, Facebook, boostmotion@gmail.com. Thank you, guys, I appreciate it.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much. You can also check out the 2 links I posted for some of my other videos. Also, on top of that, if you want to purchase some Boost Motion merch, definitely check the link that I posted also. And finally, if you've been watching all my videos and you enjoy them, please hit the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Thank you.